news came out on Friday, right after I did my live, of course, which is awesome. So I would have loved to talk about this on Friday. But, all right, so last week, Trump appointed Bill Pulte to take over Tulsi's spot. And D.C. is in an uproar. The deep state is pissed. They are freaking out, even Republicans. Get this guy out. Don't let him be seated. Try to fight back. We're going to hold up FISA, which all of us were like, cool, hold up FISA. We don't care about that one. But they're throwing a big old temper tantrum. They're terrified of this guy. Well, then Trump on Friday gave him the initiative. Mass firings at U.S. intelligence agencies. Yeah, so Pulte is the bull in the china shop. Bring him in and let's go to town. Now, remember, Tulsi's still in there till the 30th. So if you're like, we're not seeing much yet, well, that's because Tulsi's still in there till June 30th. She has this month to finish up her job, turn things over to Pulte, and maybe, just maybe, get a bunch of D-class out. We're going to see that, but that's a big expectations that Tulsi's going to drop some bombs between now and when she leaves, and then Pulte gets to be tough. Now here's Trump talking about Pulte, and I found this very interesting.
How long is he going to be in there?
Depends on how long it takes to get somebody approved. He'll do a very good job. He'll watch it closely, but Bill Pulte is very good. He's very talented. Done a great job at Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. The value there is close to $1 trillion. We built a value that's incredible. So he's done a very good job in that. He'll do a good job. He's watching for during this time period.
And you want to prevent the number of people working there?
I wouldn't mind. I've heard that's way too high for way too long. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. If he cut, I wouldn't mind that.
So a couple things there. Notice Trump said Pulte will stay there until we get somebody else nominated. So he's not even going to try to nominate Pulte for this. That's interesting. He's basically telling the Republican Senate, the Democrats, the deep state, that I'm just giving this guy a chance to go ham on you guys. He's going to screw stuff up. He's going to mess you up. And I'm not even trying to get him confirmed. So stop complaining. Stop acting as if I care about, your political nonsense, because I'm not playing your game. But he's going to be there until I get somebody confirmed. So settle down. They have no power over Trump for this. None at all. And ODNI is a big deal. It oversees 17 intelligence agencies, including the CIA and the FBI, NSA. What's going to come out of this time? That's the question. Pulte knows where a lot of receipts are because of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. He knows basically every mortgage in America, the vast, vast majority of them, that is. What does he know? How's he going to connect these dots? I cannot wait to see how this plays out because, again, the deep state's very, very angry about this. Now, with all this going on with Pulte, Cash came out this weekend and said something pretty crazy about what they're accomplishing over at the FBI. And it's just a reminder that we don't get a lot of this news. I know this is on Fox News, so it's mainstream. Most people still don't hear this. What they are accomplishing right now is so massive, and it makes you understand why they're going after Cash, Blanche, the DOJ, the Trump administration, trying to label them as the protector of pedos and pedophiles and child traffickers, all that. But listen to what they're accomplishing.
How did you do this?
Well, Kaylee, as you know so well, and as you advocate so much for our youth, they're our most precious treasure. And we made it a priority to go after the villains and the terrorists and gangbangers that are targeting our kids. And what we did was we utilized intelligence-driven operations. We took 1,500 employees from the FBI in D.C. and put them in the field permanently, working with our state and local law enforcement partners. And we went after the worst of the worst. And those stats, while those stats are meaningful, and those stats are truly historic, just think about the 7,200 kids that we found that got to go home. Just think about the 3,400, actually, when you take the numbers for this year. We're at 3,400 child predators and traffickers arrested. That's up 99% from the best year Biden ever had. That means kids are being protected at levels that are simply unheard of. And that means this FBI, here's another thing. We didn't just do the physical work on the streets. We went to the cyber community and we dismantled 3 million pedophile accounts off the Tor network where these predators prey on our children and think they can hide from this FBI. They can't. We are going to the ends of the earth and the cyber realm to make sure our most precious commodity, kids, are safeguarded. And the numbers speak for themselves.
3 million accounts they've taken down. 7,200 kids saved. This is why they want to paint this picture because, guys, I'm sorry to tell you if you're late to the party, but the whole City of London cabal globalist crowd that's deep state here in America is overseeing all this. They are the pedos. They are the traffickers. It's one of their ways of making money. It's one of their ways of controlling people. It's disgusting. It's abysmal. But this is why the Biden administration allowed 380,000 kids to come over here and be disappeared. That's a real statistic, been shared by multiple government officials. That, my friends, is one of the most insane, disgusting things you'll ever hear. And that all happened under Biden's 4 years. They were bringing them all in because of the first Trump administration interrupting it, and they were making up for lost time. And now this administration is shutting it down. And what happens? You have the people on the left, the FAGA, we're the real America first, grifters, Podcastistan, all saying this is the Epstein class. There's a reason they do that. Because they're all being paid to take out this Trump administration and stop them because they are screwing up their ways of doing stuff. They're throwing the wrench in. They're actually doing it. And it's one of the most amazing things we've seen. And we have a long way to go. But what they're doing is incredible. And this is why they hate Kash Patel. And why every 3 to 6 months, we see another massive wave of attacks against him. Because he is incredibly effective and they can't handle it. Now, he's not the only thing that's been effective. DHS, the stuff going on in DHS is insane. Now, look at this fraud ring that just got busted up from H-1Bs. Now, again, I'm showing you guys all the different ways the Trump administration is cleaning up our country and exposing what's been going on, how much we've been being stolen from, how much we've been being abused. It's insane. It's disgusting. But the good news is light is the best disinfectant. When stuff gets exposed, then things happen. It has to be exposed first. And this is one of the craziest things I've seen in a while. Listen to this H-1B fraud.
The holders since 2015. Over 70% came from India and nearly 12% from China. And when you zoom in on this map you're looking at, you can see where most are being hired. The dark red spots show a high density of H-1B visa holders. And now we're learning more about the fraud within the program. One former official tells Newsweek that up to 90% of applications, 90%, from India contain fraudulent documents or involve unqualified applicants. And finance law enforcement in India claim it has uncovered a network of universities that produce fake degrees which were possibly used to obtain these high-skilled H-1B visas.
Think about this. I've seen this in India. Doctors who aren't really doctors. Tech guys who aren't really tech guys. I mean, this is crazy. And there's no regulation on their side of things. They just get over here so they can make that money and send it back. Guys, our nation was being invaded. We were, in my belief, if Trump hadn't won in 2016, it was over. Trump stopped him enough, pushed back on the policies long enough that we could survive the 4 years of Biden and get to where we're at now, where we're more awake and more stuff's getting done. But if Kamala had gotten in, guys, it was over. We were at the tipping point. We were at the tipping point of losing everything in our country. And that's why I constantly say the Trump administration is a miracle. The good news is, and I believe that there is a timing aspect here that you could say is divine, because the good news is because that tipping point, it was getting so bad, but also the people woke up so much that the Trump administration getting in right now, as long as it keeps the gas on, we don't go back. We don't go back, because what they're doing is so incredible, and what they're able to get done is so long lasting. And the America is getting more and more awakened to all this. I mean, people see this stuff. They're not going to vote for these policies again. They're not going to stand for it again. So the bullet we dodged isn't just a bullet. It was a nuclear bomb, but we dodged it. And now we get to rebuild, and it's incredible stuff. But these numbers are insane.
Including one school which allegedly stole over 36,000 fake degrees, sold, I should say. It cost as little as $1,400 for one of those. And while these are supposed to be high-skilled employees, during almost all of Biden's time in office, 83% got junior or entry-level positions. And now Texas is taking action, cracking down on those abusing the program.
I've heard from friends in the Austin area. You guys know Austin was booming. Okay, it's booming the last few years, and a lot of it was because of all the H-1B, the Indians coming in. Well, now rent in Austin is down like 25% because they've all been going home. That boom is over, and it's incredible to see. But Texas was one of the main places for it. I can't tell you when in certain businesses when I was working in that area how many of them I came across. It was wild. It was absolutely wild. But this is insane. 36,000 fake degrees, and then we're supposed to be like, oh, the H-1Bs. This is the argument Elon Musk made. And that Vivek made, which they were absolutely wrong about, but we need them for these high-level wage jobs. Americans can't do these high-skilled jobs. Well, they were actually taking our low-skilled jobs. It's just a big wake-up call for everybody paying attention right now. Just crazy. Now, one of the ways they're fighting back is we're starting a new program to denaturalize U.S. citizens. Here's one of the latest on this.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's one of the angles that we're looking at is the people who committed immigration fraud against our system, and how do we denaturalize those people and send them back to where they came from. There's also, as you know, Will, under the Biden administration, there was a big blurring of the lines between illegal and legal immigration. The Biden administration would often take people who were coming in on fraudulent asylum claims, fraudulent refugee claims, and basically wave the magic wand of amnesty and say, we're not going to enforce the immigration laws against those people. The first thing, and maybe the most important thing that we did in the Trump administration, is that we stopped that from happening. But then you still have a lot of people who benefited from that Biden administration amnesty program. We're trying to unwind as much of that as possible. We've already had some success, by the way, Will, despite the fact that left-wing radicals in the justice system, the court system, have tried to stop us. We have been able to denaturalize and actually unwind that temporary protected status, a lot of those fraudulent asylum claims. So that work has been happening, but it's going to keep on happening so long as Donald Trump is president. I think Minneapolis...
Denaturalization is not something we've seen a lot of in our history. It just doesn't happen very often. The Trump administration right now is on pace to denaturalize more than any other administration in modern history. That, my friends, is a big deal. And it also tells you they're willing to do the real work. None of this is a game. None of this, like, they're doing the real stuff. See, I hear this all the time, okay? Like, people get mad. We're not deporting enough. Trump lied to us. They don't understand. And, my favorite, Obama deported more than Trump. Well, it's absolutely not true. It's a total lie. See, the Obama administration, in order to make Obama look good, every single person who came to the border, at the border, that was turned away, no, you can't come over here, they marked it as a deportation. That's what they did. They marked it as a deportation, and that bumped up his numbers. Obama barely deported anybody who was already here. That's a fact. And what Trump administration is doing between self-deportations and deportations, already gotten rid of 4 million, and that's before the ramp up in ICE, which is happening right now, and all these other legal aspects are coming at them from to make it much harder to stay here. Debanking them, taxing anything they send overseas at massive rates. They're making it harder and harder to stay here, forcing E-Verify. on businesses, raiding business owners who employ them. It's going to be taking away all their welfare benefits. They're taking away all the incentives to come here illegally. And that's going to make the self-deportations ramp up, and then denaturalization. It's like in the past, if you were already if they already said you're official, we'll naturalize you, nobody went backwards and undid that unless they're like a crazy criminal. The Trump administration is willing to go where others want it. And Homan just continues to be a stud on all this. This is in regards to in New Jersey, where they're talking about shutting down one of the ICE facilities.
But again, I went through the facility. I stand by the facility. Again, it's not this is not a Grand Hilton. It's a detention center. And I've been in a lot of jails, and I've been in 2 state prisons. I wish they would go to their own state prison, look at that, then come to the Delaney Hall, get something to compare it to. Because I think they'll understand that detention is not a luxury. Detention, and they say they want to shut down the facility, they want us to release detainees. You know, when I looked at the files, you know, a lot of people in that facility are mandatory detention by federal statute. We couldn't release them if we wanted to, because there's certain people, whether they're expedited removals, whether it's certain criminal, whether they're final order cases, by law, we have to detain them. And here's what they're not talking about. You want to shut down the facility? Then every illegal alien we arrest in that state will fly to Texas, we'll fly to Arizona, detain them there. Because we're going to keep arresting people, we're going to keep detaining people, we're going to keep removing people. If I can't detain them in that city where they're close to their families, then we'll have to move them someplace else. How does that benefit the migrant community? I mean, you're not going to shut down ICE enforcement. You're certainly not going to abolish ICE, and you're not going to stop us from doing our job. President Trump's in the Oval Office. He's there mainly because of what the Biden administration did to the border. Where were all these congressional representatives and politicians in 4 years open border? How come they didn't take Secretary Mayorkas on? How come they didn't take the Biden administration on for opening border? Over 10 million people flow to our border. Many criminals, many sex offenders, 2.1 million gotaways. Where do they come from? Who are they? How many of them are terrorists? How many of them are criminals? They didn't say a word about what happened in the last 4 years. And the reason ICE is out there arresting people right now, because we're responding to historic illegal immigration crisis that they made, that they created on purpose. So a massive historic illegal alien crisis, how to respond to that? To massive deportation, because most of these people should have never been released in the country. And
Mr. Homan is awesome. Like, I'm sorry, but he is the man, and he's just doing such a good job. But everything he said is so important. See, they are funding now ICE and CBP, Border Patrol, just got funded through 2029 by the Senate. So it's federal law, just like Homan said. We don't have a choice in this. It's the law. We're just going to follow it. So if they close it down, we'll ship them off. He's just going to make the liberals look more awful. He said, you want them away from their families? Okay, you're forcing us to do it, but we don't want to. But that's what we're going to do. So the messaging, Trump has got the best people on this, all this stuff. It's incredible to see. And he's very clear. We're not slowing down. We're undoing what's been done. And so people can gripe at me all they want. People can like moan and wail. People like, one of the hardest things to communicate in what I do. And it's one of the main reasons I do my show, because there is such a fantasy that exists in many people's heads about what happens when you elect somebody, when you get a new government in. People seem to think that Trump was going to come in on January 20th, 2025, snap his fingers, and in 3 days, the country would be fixed, because that's what I voted for. And they waited 3 days, and then they got mad. Oh, he didn't do it all. He lied. He hasn't fulfilled every single promise ever. Guys, we live in a system, a legal system of politics, of processes. It takes time. It takes funding. You have to go through different channels. You have to get it through the House and the Senate and then sign it. You have to make sure it holds up under legal scrutiny. You have to fight the states sometimes who don't want to play along. You get a say. That's America. And it's a slow-moving system often, but it's the best system ever created because it protects us. And it's what protected us and slowed down President Obama, President Biden. It's what slowed down their administrations from completely turning us into communism. It's why they had to backroom all this stuff. It's why they had to bring in illegals, and they found all the ways they could do stuff behind the scenes and slowly erode at us and chip away, but they couldn't get there overnight. And that's the same reason Trump can't fix it overnight. It's a good thing ultimately, but it's hard. It's disappointing. But what we have to do is pay attention to what they're doing every day. What is the progress being made? And I see somebody like Holman, and I see somebody who's been doing this for 30 plus years, who won't stop, especially when empowered. And it's incredible to watch. But for everybody saying stuff's not happening, I don't know what to tell you. The deep state is being fought back. The globalists are being ruined. Everything they fought for is being undone. I mean, case in point, look at the UN right now. Trump, United Nations reform envoy, Jeff Bartos, announces 570 million slash from the UN budget and 2,900 positions eliminated. This is the deep state's being cut back. I mean, this is City of London's like main way of being diplomatic throughout the world and trying to control, even though it's soft power, it's to control other nations through the UN, through the EU. This is what they do. They create these organizations and they tie you up through international law, which is so stupid. But it's all being rolled back. This is a signal. 570 million. That's a lot of money for the UN. 2,900 positions. They're cutting it all back. This is the signal. Stuff like this you pay attention to, because it's not so much this changes stuff for us overnight, but when was the last time you guys saw the UN getting smaller? Last time you saw that getting rolled back? It just doesn't happen. And on top of that, now Trump is starting to fight more for justice and retooling what happened on January 6th. Here's back to Kristen Welker, his interview with her. But here's Trump revealing just how the coup happened on Jan 6th. And the thing is, he's not backing down. This is great stuff.
They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI go into the building. Those people walking around, they're looking always in the side. They weren't in. They were being ushered into the building.
There's no evidence.
You had a bunch of dirty cops, and frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000 people.
No, there's none. You know what you do? Try looking at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off
Look
the
at
table?
the tapes one time.
But 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police officers.
You know why they pled guilty?
Should they be exempt?
Because they told they were going to jail for 15 years if they didn't.
Should they?
They pled guilty because they were frightened. They went down. They were ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even going in.
For everybody who's like, Trump's the deep state, he's one of them, he's on their side, do you understand that there is almost nothing political for him to gain from this? He could have completely left January 6th in the past. He could have said, it was a mistake. You know, we went a little too hard. And he could have put it in the past and betrayed so many people. He could have betrayed our trust on the aspect. This guy is fighting this stuff over and over again to the media's face when he has nothing to gain from it politically. Definitely not. He's not like he's getting any deep staters on his side doing stuff like this. It's complete exposure, and he continues to hammer down on it. This to me, guys, is more and more is like I don't understand. I think anybody who thinks Trump is deep state or ever thinks that Trump is one of them and trying to usher in the technocracy, I think they're morons. I think they're absolute idiots, because if you understand politics, you understand everything that has to be done, you understand him as a leader and the traditions in our country and the way people have been advancing that, this is the opposite of it. It's the exact opposite of it. You don't gain anything by doing this, unless you're doing it just because it's what's right. That's it. And so it's like, if you're on that side, if you believe Trump's going to be the one who ushers in CBDCs and he's actually working for them behind the scenes, like, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, you just are. And like, sorry if that's mean, but there's no other way to frame it. I don't have a nice way to frame it, because you have to be kind of retarded to believe that. I mean, when you see like stuff like this, you just have to be a special kind of stupid to actually think this guy's on that side. I'm sorry. Like, this is the kind of proof of that.
Be okay with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the weaponization fund. I love the idea because people like you, the fake, dirty press, the crooked press, people like stupid Biden, he's not smart enough to know what's going on, but people that surrounded him, surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office, what they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what...
No evidence. There's no evidence. There's no evidence. Well, here's the evidence. Here's people being walked in by the cops on Jan 6. I'll cut the music so I don't get in. But the cops standing to the side. Oh, here they come. Come on in. See our Capitol. It's beautiful. You'll love it. It's amazing. Come on in. No evidence. These people are insane. We're not stupid, but they continue to think we are stupid. And thanks to X, especially, but also thanks to all the other people who did work in other places and got it out there, we now can overcome every little thing they say, every little lie they tell. It's so easy to do. And it's also, I mean, like I said, the people who saw, people who still said, like I just addressed, people say Trump's deep state, blah, blah, blah. The problem is, guys, is now there's way more evidence out there than ever before for both sides. You can make all the arguments, but it's just too obvious. We can break it all down because what we see. I mean, it's just, that's how it works. That's how it works. Now, the Trump evidence, or the Trump administration, has been messaging to us a lot right now. Now, no panicins. This is kind of funny. It's like a double message. A, Trump's a Knicks fan, and the Knicks are probably going to win the NBA Finals, which isn't that interesting timing-wise, I got to say. But keep doubting, keep watching, no panicins. And then they put this out on Friday night. Patriots in control. Where have we heard that before? That's interesting. What would the White House gain from repeating Q stuff? What do they gain from that? Because all it does is everybody in the mushy middle, everybody on the left, all the media is just going to say, "Oh, that's crazy." But then there's a bunch of people, even in MAGA, who are just like, "Well, that's kind of weird, but okay, cool. Patriots in control." And then there's like the Q people who are like, "Oh, we see that." But it doesn't gain anything, does it? In fact, if anything, it might turn some people off, unless they're messaging it for a reason. And it says here, patriotic summer. I think we're in for a hot summer, and I don't think it's just because there's going to be Summer of Love riots. I think what Tulsi's about to drop, what's going on in the elections, all of that leading up to the midterms, the economy heating up, the Iran stuff, which is probably going to end in the next couple weeks, or at least month or so. I don't think it's going to carry on that much longer. You get a red hot summer, patriotic summer. It's just interesting messaging. That's all I'm going to say. But then Dan Scavino, the social media guru for Trump, put this out. Also, this was Saturday night. Is he a wolf among sheep? Stay in the shadows until it's time. That's pretty interesting. So, who knows? I'm just saying, like, there seems to be a lot of messaging coming out from the White House team, those most trusted to Trump, that we're about to see some stuff. And when you see all the pawns lined up, all the chess pieces where they're lining up, I mean, it definitely looks like something big is about to come over the next few weeks. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about this summer. I really am. And I'll do my best to cover it all as we go.